Well, hello there, everybody. Welcome back to some more Diablo 2 on my starting of my Paladin. This is Butterfinger, if you guys haven't known by now. I don't know why you'd be watching a fourth episode of a hour-long each episode series and suddenly starting on this one, but hey, you never know. Stranger things have happened, so we've gotten up to level 18. I did about 6... Yeah, I think it was just 6 total, plus the one on camera full clears of Act 1. I think that was probably enough. I think level 18's more than enough to do Act 2, or at least get most of it done. I don't want to do Act 2. I hate Act 2 every time I play Diablo 2. So anyways, show you guys what I got. I got this Death Spade. It's pretty good. I mean, it's what it is for Act 1. I think I did just replace this out. I think I also got this new shield. I don't think I got new, like, rings, really, except these AR rings. Nothing really too crazy. I did switch out a couple of my charms. Mainly just, you know, AR resistances. And, nothing too wild and weird. Let's show the minion off here. He's just wearing some of my replacement gear. He's not really important right now. He's going to be pretty much dead as soon as we hit Nightmare mode anyways, so... Oh no, I spoiled it, so... anyways, this is the new gem page, the rune page. I did a couple Countess runs each time I did a full clear, obviously. So those are just what I got. Lots of towel runes, and this is the socket thing. I'm just going to keep these laying around just for spare rune words later on. And of course, we got our first set item. I think I got this doing Rakanishu before a Tristram run. It was either Rakanishu or it was Griswold. I know it was a very low tier monster. I was like, oh wow, cool. Or maybe it was just a on the way thing. I can't remember. I mean, another reason why I like Pluggy is you can actually stack, you know, have more than one set, you know, item set for each account rather than just like one. So that's kind of cool. I don't think I've ever really used this set. I'm sure it's great. I do think I had this entire set at one point on my old beef stick. She was pretty good. I don't think I ever used it, but still. So you can see I'm starting to fill out the pages here. Just getting some goodies. I will collect any uniques I find, and maybe we'll do like a Holy Grail style thing way later in the series. I don't know. So, there's gold. You know, there's that much. You can see I got a pretty good grip just from selling all that shit. Nothing's in this shared page yet. So, yeah, nothing really too crazy. So, I've already just gotten back from doing some farming runs in RuneScape, so let's go ahead and get into Loot Golane. And, I hate this act. It's awful. So I do have I did some research in my spare time, because I did want to make sure... You feel much stronger now, that's great. By the way, this is all of Act 2. It's just poisoned and being shit on. So I did some research, some quick research into some Zealot builds, because it's been a long time, because I remembered it's a very easy build. And if you're ever curious why some builds are more popular than others, like Hammerden being absolutely batshit ridiculous, it's simply because they're just efficient and they work really well. You can make crazy weird builds if you really want to. But I personally stick to what I know works. The dependability really matters if it's hell viable or not. Whether you're making a PvP build, which why would you ever? I mean, seriously, dude. You know, PvP, we'll just completely disregard anything PvP related here. And then just kind of what you want to do. Like, what do you want to clear? I mean, that's the main thing, because lots of builds can get, you know, Bale or Diablo. Other builds are just good at finding items, like Sorceress are just really dirt cheap, and you can get, like, sewers or pits. I mean, I have made a pretty tanky Sorceress before. She had a lot of gear. I think she was pretty close to being, like, end of what I'd want to call. Like, I think I had an SOJ, I think I had, like, Lidless Eye. I had a couple really decent items on her at that point, but that was, like, 2 years ago, and, she was gone. She was Beef Stick. She was the best. Named after my ex-girlfriend's snack. So, not very much, not much to it. You know, I had her for about maybe 4 months, I think. So, it was pretty good. I enjoyed it. Anyways, I did some research just on some rune words I might want to try out. I've got Splendor, Spirit, Lore, Principle, and Endgame I'm probably going to go with Chains, Grief, Exile. Those are just some top ones I really want to get. I did some double checking too, just for stats to be doubly sure I was not wrong. Yeah, Zealot's a really easy build. We're going to go Sacrifice 20, Zeal 20, Holy Shield 20, because Holy Shield turns into basically a buff after a while. So it's pretty worth it later on. It's not going to be very useful now. Actually, that Crystal Sword's tempting. If that's got sockets in it, I'll hold on to that for later. Oh, hell yeah, nice. I'll put that in the stash. It's probably not going to make a great rune word if I do, but I don't think there's anything good with 2 runes right now I can really make. So yeah, obviously, I really want a Splendor or a Shield. Well, Splendor is a shield, which is a 2 rune word that's really easy to get. It's just Ethan Lum. I think you can start using that at level 20. And then Spirit is Tal Thul Ort. That's a pretty decent one, especially for Necros or... Where the hell is the exit? I hate these dungeons, I really do. That's pretty good for most mage characters. I don't know about, like... Let me guess, it's right next to the damn entrance, isn't it? That exit on the right side there, that's actually just the... like, the port area. There's a weird dungeon exit entrance there. But yeah, those are pretty good shields. They're just low. They're not really hard to get rune words. I don't really worry about rune words early on unless it's a really important one. If you're playing Necro, you really need to get Bone, and you also really should get a Spirit as well, if you really want one. Then, of course, Principle is a Paladin +2 skill armor one. It's Ralgold and Eld. It's really decent. Every class has its own specific... there we go. They have their own specific, class-specific one, which for, I believe, Necros is Bone. Or at least that's a... I think Bone's a wand? Actually, no, Bone is armor, I'm pretty sure. It's like, plus to Bone skills. It's pretty good. And then I used to have one for, Javelin Amazon as well. I can't remember what it is, though. I think it's like some fancy word. I don't know, but Principle is pretty much a early 3 rune word I could probably get pretty easily. I love these enemies. They use a stock sound effect that zombies in Half-Life 2 use. But yeah, of course, Grief is pretty good. It's a ridiculously expensive but very good rune word for weapons. And I was right, you can use pretty much any weapon because you're going to hit guaranteeably every time. So you could use a 2-handed weapon with Zeal, but I don't recommend it. It's just not very efficient. And Exile is pretty good too. I don't think I'll really use this dungeon very much. I don't like anything in Act 2. I actually specifically leveled up to this high so I could just get it done with quickly. I don't know if I'll be able to do this in one video. I might need 2, and then I'll start farming Act 2. I absolutely cannot stand Act 2. If you like Act 2, you're just weird, man. I love deserts and stuff in real life, but I absolutely cannot stand... Okay, there's a lot of reasons why I don't like Act 2, and I might as well explain them now. So, in Act 2, you have just a lot of dungeons that are very similar, and you go through them, and they're just really short, or they just have bullshit enemies. Lightning beetles are really bad. These archers can be hell, especially for, like, just squishy characters like Necros, or, like, I don't know, like Javelin if you don't have a lot of... Actually, Boazon does pretty well in these areas, because Boazon can just chip away at shit from a distance, like just shoot down a hallway. So, she does pretty well in these areas, but I'm not playing as that now, am I? So I just gotta take damage like a fucking idiot the entire time. And then, of course, there's the infamous Maggot Lair for Summoners that's just awful. The reason it's awful for Summoners specifically is because, well... we'll find out when we get there. I don't want to ruin it. That's not a good socket. I want a 3 or 2. That's what I really want right now to make Splendor or Spirit pretty early. But But yeah, there's there's that, and then there's Arcane Sanctuary, which is just horse shit because it's 4 dungeon paths. All of them are random, and it's basically just luck that determines if you're actually going to, you know, find the exit. It's really, really annoying, and I can't stand it. It's just awful, man. I'm not a huge fan of it. It's just gross. That's all there is to it. Half freeze, cool, fam. I don't care. I didn't want to pick those back up. I do not need these. Sam I am. But there's that, and then there's the fake Talrasha tombs, which are pretty good. Like the area, Canyon of the Magi is actually pretty good for just XP. If you're really hurting for it. It's also just a pretty good area. It's not like... Is that a socketed one? It is! Nice. I'll take that and put it back in the stash, actually, while I'm thinking about it. Until we get the cube, I'll just have to do this. It's not a huge deal, though. I just like keeping socketed items like that just for in case later. Because you never know. Plus, if I want to use them for another character later on, it'd be nice. And you have to remember for your character, and it's dependent on your seed, too. So if you switch to, like, Nightmare or whatever, like if I did that right now, it would reset the symbol, so I'd have to go all the way into Canyon of the Magi, or just get lucky and just try every single area, or I could go all the way back to Arcane Sanctuary and go to the correct route and find it out, and then I can go to it. It's why I don't really recommend farming Duriel, is because he just sucks ass to get to, and he's just gross. I mean, he looks pretty gross, but he's just gross to get to. Also, mummies in this area, they start showing up in this dungeon, and they're pretty bad. They can resummon these red skeletons, and they can also, they just have this nasty poison AoE attack. They also have, like, just batshit high damage with their magic attacks. They're just fucking awful. And almost every single, like, dungeon in this area after this, we start getting into the tombs, is, like, you open a door, there's like 50 mummies, they all poison you, and then those fucking dudes just start shooting you like, oh, it's just awful, dude. I hate this area. And then there's the snakes that they stun you back. It's just fucking awful. I just do not like Act 2. The quicker I can get it done with, the better. If you like it though, man, more power to you, but you're something else. I don't trust you. I would not invite you over to have tea and crumpets, okay? I'd invite you for coffee, because that's casual. We could Netflix and chill, I guess, but you know, we're not drinking the high good shit that I like tea, so good luck if you like Act 2. I like the music, but that's about the only saving grace. And then once you get, actually I was gonna say music-wise, it has one of my favorite tracks, which is the Harem. But other than that, it's pretty fucking awful. Like, this might be close to Radamant. I think I'm getting yeah, I'm pretty close to Radamant. I can just kind of feel it. He's probably, like, right around the corner here. We're just basically killing a mummy because some bitch's husband's dead. Boo-hoo. Yep, there he is. Okay. He says, I live again, which is an Evil Dead reference. Because, lol, references are so damn important. It's so goddamn important to have references. Don't do it. Please don't. Oh, you son of a bitch. Oh, well. So that's cool. We get a free skill point. I was close. I was like, he gives you something. And I think he has a super chest in here as well. I could be right. Yes, I am. For once. Woot! And it's the Horadric Scroll. Oh boy, we gotta give that to Deckard Cain, and he gets, like, way too excited about it. He's like, oh, shit! Yay! That's cool. And it just disappears. So, oh, this is gonna bug me. These have to be organized, man. A superior Targe. I don't know why I was calling it Target, because I played fucking TF2. It's the Charge and Targe, man. I should know this by now, right? But, ugh. Thankfully, Act 2 isn't very long. It can be if you're not careful. That's the only caveat here. There's a lot of areas you have to, like, just go through that can be really awful. There's a lot of running involved in this act, which is another reason I don't like it very much. But we do get the Horadric Cube, which unlocks a lot of crafting recipes. It's pretty useful. I also hate Act 2 because there's no close potion seller. You gotta go all the way to Drognan over here. He takes like 8 years. I fucking hate him. Ugh, I have problems. If this bugs me that much... But, you know what, man? He's so far! Why can't Farah do it? It's so stupid. Anyways... I'm gonna quit bitching about things that are not important. So fanaticism, I'm not even gonna put points into it until I can actually use it, so once we get to like 18, because I don't want to waste damage. I can't level Zeal right now because it's a soft cap. We can't actually just put 20 points straight into it. It's not going to let me do that. So we got to go to these 3 dungeons that all suck equally. Oh, and these enemies just fucking teleport all over the place. And oh boy, this is why everybody hates Act 2, and that was a champion. That's a bad example, but actually I should repair my gear before I do anything else. Yeah, Act 2 is a major pain in the ass. I just don't like it. It's just 11 to 20. What's his damage at? No. See, even the drops are bad. I'm gonna bitch about everything. But you start getting like better runes, you start getting better procs, you start getting just better everything. But it's still bad. So I'm gonna actually skip a lot of area in here, because normally I'd actually suggest going through and clearing all this out, but I just cannot stand Act 2 at all. Damn it, man, really? I'm already starting to get, like, the shits with these guys. Just, they're all over the place. And they poison you, I'm pretty sure, too, right? I can't even remember. They just suck. That's all there is to it. I also noticed there's way less drops in this area. Also, those lizards can jump around and fuck you up, and it's really annoying. Especially if you're playing as a mage or a range character, because they just fucking basically teleport over you, and then just everything in Act 2 is awful. It's like they just designed the most awful part of the game. It's funny, because Act 2 and Diablo 3 is also in the same area, which is really, really innovative, right? And it's just as annoying and shitty, and the whole area sucks. The Oasis dungeons look pretty, but other than that, I could give a shit less. I don't think Diablo 3 has anything really good to say for me, I guess. It has nothing good to say to me, and I have nothing good to say to it, so I think... What does Atma do? She just says something to you, I'm pretty sure. There's nothing in here, I don't think. This is just the Stoner Tomb. That's where the Stoners live. I'm not gonna go in there. It's an introduction crypt, just to kind of show you what the dungeons are going to be like in this area. And plot twist, they all suck. And these areas are just huge. I know that, like, Act 1 kind of has some big areas, but these are a lot bigger. And I can only give you some general advice for navigating this. You just kind of want to stick to the edges and just fucking avoid everything else, because it's not worth your time. I'm sure that I am, you know, pretty unfair when I say Act 2 is awful, but it's pretty awful, man. There's nothing I can say good about it. It ends. That's something that I can at least say is nice. And here's a hot take that I know is going to cause somebody to get angry. I actually really like Act 3. I like that you have to pay attention to the map, and it's fun. I like it. There's a lot of little sub-quests in it. It makes you explore. And the boss is really good, and the soundtrack is just really cool. I like the fetish enemies. They're pretty cute. I like them. That's a really shitty amulet. And it gives you lower Kurost, man. That's like the best, like, farming spot in the whole game for runes, next to probably Countess and Bale. So, I mean, you have nobody to blame but yourself. So, Dry Hills is where we gotta get the cube, and, oh boy. This is the other problem with this. I have zero patience to look for all the waypoints in this area, and I actually don't know where they're all at, if I'm being honest. Because I hate this act. I try to get it done with as quickly as I can every time I play Diablo 2. And it's so nice because in Nightmare, you don't even have to get the fucking cube, because you start Nightmare with the cube in Hell difficulty too. Oh, fuck. Oh, no, stop. Stop. Oh, God. Okay, that was really bad. My resistances are kind of shitty now, but I'm not bothered by it. I just pray to God I can get Act 2 done with quickly. You can break these jugs, which they can generally give you some good items. I've actually gotten a couple runes from these. I just assume they give you runes more commonly because I've done it once. Also, I like the fact there's scorpions just wandering around. It's kind of cute. I think you can step on them too, and they just go... Well, maybe not. I think you can only do that in, what's it called? Act 1 or something. I know there's a part where you can step on something. And I love when games have that detail. It's something small, but it's just funny. Because stepping on unarmed and innocent creatures is just very funny to me. But you can see my stamina, I haven't really... Oh, excuse me. Oh, there's the Dry Hills waypoint. That's cool. Living in Dry Hills. Yeah, that's the level of excitement this place causes me. I'm just fully erect thinking about clearing this area. So the whole point of this is to get the 3 pieces of something. Basically, we gotta assemble a staff, and we gotta open a door. That's the extent of Act 2, it's just really lazy, we just gotta open a door. Why couldn't we just make a bomb out of, like, the fumigation potions and then just drop it? Bow, now. You see, this is exactly what Act 2 does to me. It just turns my... you saw my desktop, oh no. It just turns my brain right off. It's a damn shame I didn't have my notepad document right there because it shows all my information that I'm using. It's like all the rune words and stuff. Ah, perfect, there's Halls of the Dead. Yay, Hall of Dead me daddy. So these things aren't too bad. They do have a lot of shock damage, so be pretty cautious, especially when you start getting into, like, later difficulties. That damage is brutal. And those enemies, specifically these Deathwing creatures, are actually in Act 3 as well. They're very common. So this is a dead end. I don't really need to be in here. I don't care if there's fat loot in there or not. I just cannot stand being in here. Also, another little side anecdote why I hate Act 2. When I was first playing this game, one of my cats ran away. It was really sad. She came back, but it was sad, man. That just makes me think of that. I was like, oh, my cat's never gonna come back. Woohoo. And I got really depressed. So, it was definitely a reason I probably don't like Act 2. So, you can see what I mean. Like, all the enemies in Act 2 pretty much just shit poison everywhere. Oh no, there we go. I bumped my cord, so it was a little bit funky on my ears. I was like, ugh, that doesn't sound right. Oh, this is gonna suck. Yep. Oh, God. Nope. Get the fuck out of that room. And you may be thinking, wow, you're really underleveled, and I'm gonna tell you right now I'm not. This is about exactly what Act 2 feels like no matter what you do. It's just this cacophony of crap. There, look at my writing skills in action, right? I don't like this area. There's nothing good about it, man. I don't know why people like Act 2 if they do at all. I've never met a Diablo player that liked Act 2. And if you're one of those people, I'm sorry, I don't know you. I don't want to know you. But then again, I'm one of those mutants that likes Act 3. There's something just satisfying about it. I like jungles in games. If I'm honest, I love anything jungly. Ooh, a jewel. Nice. I like anything jungle-based or forest-based because I grew up in Oregon. Oh, fucking hell, that's just terrible. I'm tempted to throw that on the ground, but I can't. See, this is the other problem with these dungeons, is they're just... they're all like 4-pronged dildos. I don't know, man. That's the level of humor I have to relate to just struggle through these. Okay. Don't think I need that many keys either. Okay, good. And we'll chunk our gold away. I still don't know what's up with our gold. I swear to God, that's not normal. I could check the Pluggy, like, update history, but I really don't care. Gold is really not a big deal. You can make a build designed for gold find, and I think amethyst? No, that's not what it is. It is the yellow gems. The things. You can up-tier a bunch of those, and you can get, like, gold find. Purple is amethyst. That's what gets you, magic find. Sometimes you can just make a cheap, magic find setup doing that, too. It works. It's better for, like, a sorceress, though. It's not really great for melee. I mean, you can. It's just not really advised. Play to your class's strengths. You can actually make, like, a melee sorceress. I've actually made... and finished the game with a melee necro. It was really awful. I did use Poison Tree, I'm pretty sure, for some things, like Poison Dagger and Poison Nova. I just didn't use, like, Corpse Explosion or anything because I felt like that would be cheating. Which it kind of is. So, awesome. I thought Halls of the Dead was 2. I guess I was wrong. Let's... oh, this could be actually good. 11 to 18. No, it's just pretty average. It's not really as good as what I've got here. Let's go with more vitality, and... will I get another hit? No. But the attack bonus is 100. Fuck it, I'll just keep leveling them up one at a time. Because you do get a lot of synergy bonus from sacrifice, which is why I said it's actually very easy to make a zealot, because there's not very many skills you gotta put points into. It's not like a sorceress where you had to put like almost all your points into like 2 different trees, and you gotta like find your synergies and find the ones that have the best breaking points so you don't get like, or sorry, diminishing values. And it's just like, that to me is why it's harder to statistically create a sorceress rather than play it. Anybody can make a sorceress. They're actually really easy. I mean, anybody can clear normal. I think that's the definition of average. Nightmare is still pretty hard, but it's not like the worst. It can get pretty bad. I won't say it's easy, because you start to encounter a lot more resistance problems. Enemies just hit harder, but you also get way better gear, so it's almost always worth it. And I finished rendering the first 3 episodes. Yay! I haven't uploaded them yet because I'm lazy and I've been playing RuneScape. I've been doing Regicide. I hate that quest. 8 to life, it'll just sit there for a while till we get the cube, and then I'll just get rid of it or something. I don't know. I'm not really worried about my HP right now, because personally, I'm gonna have so much defense by the end of the game, it's unbelievable. Especially from, like, Holy Shield. It's gonna be just batshit crazy, dude. So also these mummy sarcophagus things, or sorry, sarcophagi, are gonna spit out mummies until they get broken. I don't think you can really farm those. I haven't mentioned this yet. You can actually stop gaining XP from enemies after a while. I think, like, revived creatures, like Fallen and mummies and stuff. Maybe Devilkin, I think, as well. I don't know. They're the things in Act 4 that just suck shit. Or, sorry, Act 5. This is the Herodric Cube. Yay! Yeah, extra strong. Really saved your shit there, didn't it? Okay, that... I hope that's a good mace. I really do. So... Oh, why is that there? I don't like this at all. No. This doesn't need to be here. Let's pick up our cube. Yay. I love getting the Herodric Cube. It makes life a lot easier, because then I can do this and just get rid of all the garbage I don't want. So, yay, we got the first part of the quest done. It's so shitty. It's awful. I hate this area so much. Let's get the fuck out of here. And then you can talk to Diedrich Kane. Yeah. He'll say, "You have quite a treasure in that Herodric Cube," over and over. Let's go ahead and sell, and I'm gonna take a sip of my delicious iced coffee that I made a few minutes before. 62! Hot damn! Okay, nice. That's a pretty good feeling, I'm not gonna lie. I think that might be my new favorite expression, apparently. 6 in AR. I'll just take this AR one, rather than the life one, because it's really not... You know, actually, let's swap that out for the stamina, because I don't really need that right now. This mace could be interesting. 44 against undead, 10 AR. It's just... It's not really that good. I mean, this isn't really that good either, but in consideration of what I'm working with right now, it's pretty okay. I'll just sell it, I don't need it. And I do always keep some keys on me, because you never know. They do kind of accumulate in your inventory over time anyways. And let's go ahead and dump our gold. Let's see. I'm just gonna think real quick. That's good. It's just basic iced coffee I made a while ago. I never actually go to coffee stands. Every time I do, I get really confused, and they look at me like I'm stupid. Probably because I have horrible social skills. I don't know. I actually have pretty decent social skills for someone with a lot of, like trauma issues. But, yeah, like, I don't know. I order the same thing every time I... Damn it, I keep clicking outside my screen because this is windowed and it sucks. My ex used to love windowed screens, and I don't understand why people do. It's fucking weird. I play RuneScape windowed, and it's actually about the same size, because that's just the size that RuneScape usually was when I used to play, so I don't mind it as much. But it just pisses me off. I always feel like I'm going to click off the screen. And I never do, which is even funnier in RuneScape, but I do it in Diablo too, because you need to click a hell of a lot more. So we are going to be leveling up pretty quickly now, as well. I just do not want to fight any of this bullshit. I hate all these enemies. They're all bad. I'm sure that I'm pissing away a lot of... I found an L rune. That's pretty cool. This is the other thing you can do with your Herodric Cube, is you can actually use it as kind of like a backpack. I know Median XL actually makes your Herodric Cube a lot bigger, too. And you can do a couple little handy-dandy inventory tricks with it. Such as... Is that a... Damn it! I keep doing that. I need to stop. Okay, that's not very good. Like, you can open and drop it. Oh, fucking hell. It's gonna be... Oh, I hate this area, dude. This is why I don't like Act 2 either, is a lot of these rocky outcroppings can just kind of look like they're gonna be one, and then they just don't have the exit stairs, and then they have... Ugh, it's just gross. Speaking of gross, we gotta go to Maggot Lair next, which is just... It's not bad when you have an AoE attack, if you're like a Boazon, or a Druid or something, or hell, even Barbarian is fine. You'll notice I never talk about Assassin, because I've never actually made an Assassin and enjoyed it. I always start Assassin and get really bored, because usually by that point I've played the game for about 4 months and I'm tired of playing it. But, yeah, I don't know anything about Assassin, so... If you're one of those crazy people that likes Trapsin, I totally get it, but it's just, I can't ever get into it. I know that, what's it called? Demon Hunter was basically Trapsin, and I don't know. I didn't really enjoy Demon Hunter. I played Demon Hunter for like 20 seconds and was like, yep, fuck this game, I'm done playing it. Yep, I called it. It's fucking hell. It's always like this. Okay, and Far Oasis. I forget which areas are which in this part, because they all look the same, and they're all just awful, and they all just suck equally. This is just gonna be me bitching about this whole area the whole time. If you think I'm complaining, I implore you to play the game yourself, if I'm being honest, because I swear, dude, it's worse than it looks. I'm making it look very easy. But that's also because I played this game for years. So, Maggot Lair's fine. It's not really that bad for melee classes, because they can just kind of funnel enemies into it. But when you're playing as a Necro, specifically Summoner, because I was going to say, Bone Necro has Bone Spear, I think, by this point. It's Itchies! I love that name so much. That's my favorite enemy in this entire game, probably, because of the name. It's just called Itchies. It's just fucking herpy clouds. It's so funny to me. Because I'm an adult and I think everything's funny. Ooh, a crystal sword. This could be good. No, it's not. Is that scale mail 2-socketed? I don't really need 2 sockets, but I'll look at 2-socket rune words later, just in case. I never know. Bone Necros don't have an issue with Maggot Lair, because they have Bone Spear, which pierces enemies, and Teeth is also like a shotgun blast, so... Teeth is a pretty okay spell when you're starting out as a Bone Necro. I don't really think it's a viable build. I have never made a hell viable one. If you can, I implore you to tell me how, because I think the furthest I ever get is, like, Act 2, and then it just becomes way too fucking... The damage is just too low, and there's no way to counteract things without summoning. And so then you're just playing a hybrid build, and it's just not as good. So, stick to Summoner. I mean, Summoner is the only thing that Necro does. Like, effectively, really. And, I mean, Necros are good in let me use my proper English here. They're good in conjunction with Paladins, because they can both buff your team. And a Barbarian. Like, a Barbarian Paladin and a very good Necro can all create a pretty good party. I've actually played with a couple of friends where we were doing something similar to that once. But, yeah, I mean, Bone Necro is pretty good at it. I'd hesitate to say that probably you can get away with some easy shit if you're playing as a Sorceress, because Sorceress has Fireball, which has AoE on it. so it makes it a little bit less bullshit. Because you can just hit them around corners and just pop things. Same with Jabazon. Jabazon can do that as well. And so can Bozon, so yeah. Really, Summoner is just the worst when it comes to that area, because number one... Well, I'll show you guys when we get in there. It's probably pretty close to this. I actually don't really ever go in any of the dungeons in this area either, because I just want them done. I can't stand them. Okay, cool. That's the waypoint. That's not Maggot Lair. But I'll take it. Throw these in here, why not? Yeah, Maggot Lair is pretty bad. But the good thing is it's mainly going to consist of, like, lightning beetles, and actually the worst part is when you fucking have the maggots spawn, and then they start just, like, grouping up in these big piles, and it starts to just really oh, fuck it, it's awful. There's the entrance to it. Let's go ahead and restock before we go in there, because I don't want to go in here 100 times. Let's repair as well. Bum, bum, bum. That's not terrible. I mean, I'm just trying to make sure I have socketed equipment in general, because I'm really bad about actually keeping track of it. Oh, well, let's show you that little trick I was talking about, too. You can just do this, and it just throws everything in your inventory, but when you're in Act 2, it'll still say that little message if you do that, so you can clear it if you want to. Magic fine. I might save that for another character. I really should stop saying that expression, but that is really good. I'm probably going to put that in shared stash later, because I could probably make use of that if I start off with Sorceress later on. Oh, and I can start up-tiering runes, but I'm not going to do that till I actually need to make something, because I want to make sure I have, just, you know, I want to make sure I know what I'm going to make before I fuck myself over and up-tier something too high. It doesn't happen often, but early on, you don't have very many runes, usually, unless you've been farming Countess like I did, but I wasn't farming specifically Countess, I was just doing a boss run each time. Not specifically zoning in towards her. Sometimes I'll actually clear a map just to make sure I can get a good Countess seed, and then I'll just spawn and farm her over and over in, like, Nightmare or Hell. It's pretty viable, but, you know, do whatever you want to do. I'm just trying to get this hellhole of an act finished up with. So this is where Slipknot fans go. They love it here. It's pretty metal. But as far as it goes, this is a really shitty area. I'm just... Oh, God. I'm not even going to have to worry about much in here, but it's a fucking nightmare. So this whole area, this is what it's like. And, yeah. I wish I was kidding, but this is exactly what it's like the entire time. You're just in these nasty... That would be cool for an imbue. I should have saved that. But, they're just these narrow, awful tunnels. The map is hard to see. The itchies really aren't a big deal. But the scratchies, man, that's where it's really at. Yeah, it sucks. And sometimes the maze looks really ugly because it's a specific effect that they're trying to create. And it looks really bad in some of the corners. I actually really like how they did Arcane Sanctuary because it's all 2D sprites. It's really neat. Oh, fuck, this is a dead end. I will kill the enemies in here because they do have good drops usually, or sorry, XP. For the most part. You can also run sewers at this point if you really want to. Ooh, a crystal sword. Fucking one socket. My ass is one socket. Okay, that's a bit too much right there, I think, because that's pretty much a spit in the facts kind of thing. Yeah, I don't like Maggot Lair. If you like Maggot Lair, you're weird. But when you're playing as Necro, all your summons are going to get stuck on these corners and shit, and they just don't follow you. And then the next thing you know, there's a whole room full of, like, fucking beetles bearing down on you, just beating the shit out of you, and you can't do anything about it. And I'm talking, like, early game. And probably all the way up until, like, Nightmare. Because you have 0 items at this point, so you pretty much just have to get lucky. It's really annoying. I can't stand playing Necro through this. I mean, the only plus side is those beetles, just kind of, their hits bounce off the walls. But that really doesn't negate the fact that they do a shit ton of lightning damage either. Which is very awful. Ugh. The final boss is also really dangerous. She can just shoot a shitload of poison on you, and it's really dangerous. I'm surprised I haven't seen a single maggot yet either. It's a really annoying dungeon. I don't think it's the worst, but it's just, it's really narrow and there's not a lot of ways to like circumvent like if you take the wrong path. That's what really pisses me off about it. It's like Arcane Sanctuary, there's not very many wiggle room areas. They're just connected. It's kind of like playing a map from like Rogue or NetHack, really. There's just rooms connected by hallways. If you've ever played that, or watch my NetHack series if you really want to. I implore you to do so. I would love it if you did, because I actually was really upset by the way my first NetHack character died. Well, not my first, but my first one on camera. It was really embarrassing. I'm not going to spoil it. I suggest you watch it because it was a very depressing way to die. It was embarrassing too. I was so upset. I got all the way to fucking... Oh, no, I'm not even going to go there. I'm not even going to go there. You can watch that yourself. I'm not going to relive that event. Oh, man. Okay, for God's sake, this is what I mean. There's 3 layers to this dungeon. It's just one thing after the other. Just, hi, how's it going? I'm gonna fucking hit you. But the only good side is Act 2 is generally where you're gonna hit level 20, so you can start unlocking more of your character's skills. Because usually it's about 20 and then 30. 30 is when a character can actually use their final skills. So it's pretty important to make sure you know what you want to do by then. I mean, you can always respec. Like I said, Pluggy has a little feature that lets you respec, but I don't really want to use that. There we go. So these maggots are really awful. So they can spit out eggs, and if the eggs sit too long, they create maggot larvae, and then they just start piling up, and it's just fucking... Ugh. It's just not a fun time. And I swear to God, those goo piles have a higher chance of poison proc than anything else. I could be exaggerating for comedic effect, and I hope I am. But, oh fuck, this is dangerous. I don't want to be in that room. Do I have any more potion? No? I have 2. There we go. Yeah, that was really dangerous. Those are just awful. They do a ton of damage. It's because every time you spawn a unique creature or a champion, their damage is multiplied by like, what, 4 or 5 or some shit like that, so all that lightning damage is just multiplied even higher, so it becomes just this insane amount of damage that you have no real, like, immunity to yet. It does level out later on. I'd say once Mephisto gets unlocked and you can start farming Act 3. Actually, specifically just Mephisto. I don't really farm all of Act 3, because Act 3 doesn't have very many bosses. I mean, it has some good areas, but it doesn't have very many good bosses. I'd say... Lower Kuros is also good XP. Actually, all of Kuros is just great. Especially Kuros Bazaar. Those are all really good areas to get chips and stuff. I've gotten a lot of chips, charms, amulets, rings... Like, if I ever in need of getting a better item like that, it's really easy to go through there. I actually suggest that for most new players. And you see, that's one of the reasons I always say to people why Diablo 3 is a bad game. Areas have item biases in Diablo 2, which is great because it incentivizes you to go to certain areas. And all areas actually have, like, in the entire campaign, are viable. They all have reasons to go there. Like I said, Chaos Sanctuary, best monsters in the game. But not every character can excel at it. Melee characters do better, because they have more, like, survivability, less immunity issues. I'm gonna get more potion. I don't trust this shit, like, at all. Yeah, they get just better, you know, survivability. Archers have a really bad time, especially because, yeah, just wait until you go all the way to Chaos Sanctuary, you break all the seals, and then you fucking can't kill that one, whatever it's called. I want to see what she gives me. I don't remember what she gives you. I think she just says kind words and it makes you feel better or something. I don't know. But like in Diablo 3, oh, just random dungeons with random enemies and random things and random this, random that, and then you always get better items. Everything drops everything towards you. Hello, that's the exit right there. Okay, that's... Alright, let's take this a little slow. Like, areas had danger in Diablo 2. Like, this is dangerous for a lot of characters. We don't have to kill her, but I'm gonna do it anyways. Okay, that was... Oh shit, come on. I don't want to be in this room. I don't want to be in here. Let me have that sword. There we go. Oh, is it ethereal? Oh, you're fucking kidding me. I'm gonna be so mad if it's good. Can I fit that in there?
Impossible.
No, of course not. I can't. It's a stick that's skinny. Of course I can't put it in there. No, Rahid! Or Razan! You can't die! You're my man. We're in this for the long haul. You can't die here. There we go. So this is the first part of the quest. Oh, I don't even want to know what this is. It's actually going to be good, I bet. A Staff of Kings. Oh, fucking really? Of course it's good. And it's ethereal. But 14 to 18. Let's...
I can't.
I can, so you don't have anything to say about this. We're going to use the Bramble Gutter until we get something better. So I'm going to keep the Death Spade in my alt, because well, I don't need this anymore. I'm not using this Scepter at all, so we'll get rid of that. 40 defense. I think that might be better than what Razan's got. Yeah, it's just slightly better than what he's got going on. Stacy's mom's got it going on, too. We're going to put this in here instead of the actual... You don't need to have this with you. It does actually have an effect. I just don't know what it does. It does something when it's actually finished. You can recraft it if you want to. Why you'd ever want to do that is beyond me, though, because you're a strange, strange man. Or girl, who knows. 14, 10 to 28. That's just... It's just a better... like, damage output. The blinding effect is probably not very important, but the mana back is kind of good. This has cold on it. No. Okay, we're gonna put this in here, just in case. I don't trust it, alright? I'm just getting nervous. I don't like having to mess around with ethereal equipment ever. It's always really risky to me.
Approach and let's trade.
Yeah, let's trade, man. What's its armor at, actually? Its durability is 11 of 11, which is not very good. That's disappointing. I think I'm gonna call it a video here, and then do the next one in a few seconds, and then we'll see what we get in the next one as we get the last bit of the staff, and hopefully we can finish up Act 2 in that same video, so I'll see you in the next one.